seeing myself like this is so jarring. I look like a ghost. I look so white. I just washed my hair. She's silky, she's smooth. And I did a hair mask. It's actually so annoying. I hate hair wash days because so much thought goes into it, like whether I should shampoo or condition or do a hair mask or not, and like washing with cold water freaking sucks. But um I have to. So, anyways, I bought lotion like when I went on my date. Like, well, I don't remember. It was like a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, but I didn't use it. And I really should. It smells better than the other one they had because the other one they had smells like bananas, and this is blue as well. So, and then I need to do my moisturizer and stuff. I don't really know how to describe the smell of it, really. Anyways, I'm trying to stop being so afraid of being. Also, it's so. I have a whole junkyard over here, so we're gonna try to fix that. And I. I'm trying to be less afraid of being perceived. I'm trying to do the whole exposure therapy. Not exposure therapy. Yeah. Maybe like exposure therapy mixed with the mirror exposure effect when it comes to being perceived. Because, like, if you. Well, mirror exposure effect is like when you're around something more or around a person more and then you start to like them or start to like that thing. So I don't think it would work. Okay, I need to do my hair, but I don't want to do it right now. Okay. I also need to throw away like all the bags I have. Okay, we have hair dye, and then we have receipts. I remember like in April when I was actually like borderline mental, I would I really want to do my lip combo, but you know what? I need to become comfortable with looking like this is my face naturally with nothing on it. I have to become comfortable with how I look, because I'm gonna look this way for the rest of my life. I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, in April when I was like borderline mental, I went through some of my receipts that I've kept because I keep receipts. Like it's not even something that I do like on purpose. It's just something that I've done for years, and um and I saw receipts from October and I would start tweaking out. Same for September. Oh my gosh, those were the times. Okay, but I actually need to clean my room because it's getting kind of crazy. Should I take it out of the box? Probably. Because why do I need to keep the box? Okay. I can't believe this fit like my whole head. That's amazing. And I've been thinking about like when my hair, like when my roots grow out more. Because right now they're like, you can't even see, they reach about here, which is not that bad. And I still think I think it looks cool to have like red hair and then have black roots because that's like, the contrast is cool. But I'm not really that crazy. Oh my gosh, bro, I love this lotion. I'm not really that crazy about bleaching my hair when I need to fix my hair. Like when the red has faded. Bro. What is my problem, bro? I think I literally have two bags from Noodles and Company because I've been there so much. Okay. Isn't this recycling? I actually am not sure. They don't have a sign on it. I think this is trash. Okay, whatever. Yeah, and it was just like jarring for me to like look at receipts from like fall and be like, my life is so different now. Like I don't like it. Like I don't like it. And change is disgusting. And I was like, oh my god, like I can't go back. But it's okay. I'm low-key getting better at accepting things as they come, as they go. Please. Okay. Literally, sometimes I literally lose brain cells because I'm like, I did not know how to close this because it would just keep opening. And I'm like, why aren't you doing your job? I think that's enough. Like, It would be like this, and then I would have, okay, obviously now it's gonna pay, like, but I would have it like this, and then the thing would pop off, and I would get upset. Okay. Should I do a lip combo even though I'm at home, or is that stupid? But the new lip gloss I got, literally everything for me goes back to the past. And I know I'm crazy for it, but like I can't really help it. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. But literally that new lip gloss that I bought, I believe yesterday. I literally hate myself because one of my New Year's resolutions was to stop buying new lip glosses every week. And look what I'm doing. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. The new lip gloss that I bought, low-key, it reminds me of like lip combos that I did in July of 2024, and I was like, bro, please let me catch a break. But low-key, I love it, and that's okay. It's okay that it reminds me of the past because, July 2024 was great. And whoa, do I wish I had amnesia? Sometimes. But also, if I had the choice, I would want to remember everything ever. um I remember when I wrote my Substack article. I think I wrote it in May. I want to put something on my lips. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I believe I wrote it in May. I need to blend my moisturizer in, actually. I wrote it in May, and like at the end of it, I was like saying how I would always want to remember everything. I look-y don't. Oops. And like, though like remembering hurts, it's kind of great sometimes. Well, actually, not all the time. But like, let me find it. I low-key need to get back into reading because what's my problem? Yeah. The last sign of it, that's what I'm trying to find. I was like, actually, then I would have to read the rest of it to make it make sense. But I was saying maybe the true blessing is remembering, even if it fades, even if it hurts, especially if it hurts. And then I put especially if it hurts in italics because, like, why not? Not why not. I know how to use italics properly. I don't just use them randomly. And I need to sharpen this. I don't even think I have a sharpener. Bro. I don't think my lips are chapped, so I think I can just go straight into it. You know what? I'll make do without a sharpener. Okay. I think the hello. I think I think planning a wedding sounds more fun than actually getting married. I don't know. I don't know if I mean weddings. Yeah, they seem fun, but like I think like all the details that go into planning a weddings. I need to stay standing up. If I sit down, I'm never gonna clean my room. But I think all the details that go into planning a wedding is what makes it like appealing. But I never have ever wanted to be married. Like only briefly after like watching something or reading something, I'd be like, oh, like that's so cute. But I think one of the main reasons I realized, or one of the reasons that I don't like I look insane. You know what? It's okay. I remember seeing this TikTok, and it was actually, and it was saying how like the worst thing a woman could ever be is ugly, and I low-key have been thinking about that for like ages, and I low-key it circles in my mind. So I'm gonna try to be more comfortable with just being and not just worrying about my looks all the time. But I think one of the reasons why I don't want to use it horizontally. Why I don't like marriage, or one of the reasons why I'm like not crazy about it or don't want to get married, is because I realized that you can have domesticity. I don't know if I pronounced that right. You can have domesticity with your partner without being married to them. Like that's not like there's no rule book that's like you have to be married to this person. But I also just think it's dumb. It's dumb. I can't really explain it. I just don't like it. I don't know. But I need to give myself purpose because I don't know. I feel like when I'm like kind of lost, I don't think I'm lost or no. I'm saying like, where's the gap? I'm saying like I find like superficial things to give me purpose so that I don't feel like I'm living an aimless life. Even though most of the time life is aimless and I feel like that's okay. I mean, like, yes, generally it is okay, but like to me it's not in terms of, not when it's me, because I don't want to have an aimless life. I don't want my life to have purpose and meaning, which it does. And I find meaning like everywhere. I remember in July, I was walking on the street and then I saw this post. I don't know if you would call it a post. I feel like post is what a British person would say. Sometimes I low-key talk like I'm British. Sometimes I say glass instead of cup just to feel something. I was walking by this post. I think I was walking by this pole and it had a sticker that said love is possible, and I was like, that's so true, because it really is. And then I took a picture of it because, you know, I can't live in the moment normally, but, you know, I think I'm gonna let my hair, like, okay, it's still very much wet, but I think I'm just gonna let it be like that, and then I'm gonna work on this. I now have only 4 empty water bottles. I used to have maybe 8, maybe 6. I don't know, I had a lot. Oh, here's the cup. Yeah. But I also think that recording myself does keep me grounded, because whenever I see notifications on my phone, I have to like ignore them. Otherwise, the whole video is just gonna be me scrolling, and that's boring. And nobody wants to watch that. I don't know if I should turn on the light or not, because I still have some light from like the window, but I don't know if I like that. Let's see. It's okay. I don't really care. I'd have to move it, but like all my things are gonna fall. I don't really care about lighting. It's kind of performative to care about how you look. Wait, why am I spitting? Why did I say that like it wasn't the most obvious statement ever? It's kind of performative to care about how you look. No shit. Okay. I wish I could see how other people perceive me, and not just like the way they think I look. Well, that's like part of it, but like I want to see myself through somebody else's eyes, so I can be nicer to myself. Which that sounds so pathetic and sad, but it's like at the end of the day I just want to be nice to myself, and it's so fucking hard. Why? Okay. But I think after showering, all my makeup is finally off. I remember one time, it was very recently, and um um someone came up to me and said I looked just like her niece, and she was like smiling and stuff, and I just like smiled because I didn't know what to say. Like, what do I say? Thank you, or like let me see what she looks like, but also like what does she look like compared to me? Like, I don't know. I also feel like a lot of, oh well, this is off topic, kind of on topic. I feel like a lot of white people just like relate you to like the only brown person that they know, because I remember when I was talking to this customer and I was saying like she was going to a wedding in Morocco, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, like hashtag my country. and then um she was like asking me about like etiquette and stuff, and I was like, it's like hot there, so like she was like, this happened a long time ago too, like months ago, and she wanted to know if she should wear tights or not, and I was like, I mean, it's hot, you definitely shouldn't wear tights. And I was asking her about like the ethnicity of like the couple that was gonna get married, and I think they were American, and one of them was like Nigerian or something. One of them was not American. And then I was like, then you really shouldn't care what you're wearing. Like, unless it's like a Moroccan wedding, it doesn't matter where you're wedding. It's just a destination wedding. And also on that note, oh shit, I'm getting excited. He's getting excited. On that note, destination weddings are so selfish. I'm sorry. Like, oh my gosh. If I like even remotely liked the idea of marriage, I would never do a destination wedding. Like, if my spouse wanted to, ew, I hate the word spouse. If my partner wanted to do a destination wedding, I would be like, you are selfish. Like, you're selfish. Like, we can do a honeymoon, but like a destination wedding is just like greedy. Um, I hate parting my hair so bad. Okay. Literally, why do I just have things where they don't even belong? What's my problem? I remember this movie I watched with Winona Ryder and what's his name, Keanu Reeves, and they went to a destination wedding, and then I was like thinking like, I mean, I think I've always known what destination weddings were, but I never knew they had a name to them. And then like, low key, I have a chair. Why don't I use it? Um, and I was like, I didn't think much of them, and then I watched that movie, and then I was like, low key, they're kind of selfish. Like, if you're, I mean, like, also, what if people can't afford the tickets? And it's also like, I doubt the couple's gonna pay for everybody. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. Maybe when I'm older, I'll have gone to a destination wedding, and then I can revisit this topic. But for now, no, my hair's touching my knees, and it's wet. Um, Yeah, and I just think marriage is dumb. Like, if you love me, you can love me. We don't have to announce it. And I also think if I ever, this would never happen because I would never get with someone who does this to me, who would do this to me. At least I hope not. But if I ever was with somebody and then we were in public and then they got down on one knee, I would actually act like I don't know you. Like, what are you doing? You don't even know me. First of all, public proposals, so manipulative and they're so dumb. And it's like, why do you have to do it in front of people? Like, I think I never want to get married. I don't. But my dream proposal would be either in a hot air balloon or which I've never even been in a hot air balloon or I sound like a seal. R or or like the proposal from Gone Girl. Actually, that's number one. That's top. That's number one. Nothing can beat that. The proposal from Gone Girl, yes. Even though like I'm actually not gonna spoil the movie, but I feel like everyone knows what happens in Gone Girl. I look, you need to rewatch it. And then maybe a hot air balloon proposal, but also that's just like kind of, yeah, but like we'd have to be the only ones. Like it has to be like, but also in Gone Girl, it wasn't really like a private proposal. Like it was, he kind of did it in front of a few other people, but it's not that big a deal. It was just like a table of people. You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Whatever. It was just a really cute proposal. Um, I remember it was like a week or something ago, and then I was checking out this couple, and then they had the guy, he had an R, the letter R, like tattooed on his arm, and it was like this cool design. And I was like, I love your tattoo, that's so cool. And I thought it was like his wife's like initial or something. I was like, oh, it must be his wife's initial. And and he was like, oh, do you like her tattoo too? And like he pointed to his wife, and she had the same a tattoo in the same spot, and I was like, oh my god, they're matching. And I was like, what does R stand for? And they were like Roman, and it's like they pointing to their son, who was a baby. Also, I can't roll my R's. I think they rolled the R in Roman when they said that, but I'm sorry, I can't roll my R's. I can't pronounce R's in like any language. Like, I mean, now I can pronounce R like fine, but like in certain words I can't. I can't pronounce it in any language that I speak, so I'm kind of stupid, but it's okay. With time, I'll get better, I guess. I don't know. I need to learn a language that does not use the letter R at all. Um, yeah, or I'll create it myself. Kidding. But yeah, it was just really sweet, and I want to remember that. So that's why like I verbalized that memory because I want to remember it. Even though I know I'm going to remember it for a while cuz like I've been thinking about them. I've been thinking about like that tattoo. That's so cute. Um and I also remember this customer who like she had a tattoo like on her wrist or something. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like what does it say? Like, what's the meaning of it?" I know I'm nosy, but if you're gonna get a tattoo, like, in a really obvious spot, people are gonna ask you about it. Like, I'm sorry. And I remember, okay, sidebar. I remember seeing this I'm getting my shirt so wet. I don't care. I remember seeing this TikTok, and it was like this girl, and she was like saying how she has tattoos and she doesn't like it when people talk to her or something. Or I don't remember. I actually don't remember. I'm just making up stuff. But the customer had a tattoo like on her wrist, which is one of the best placements, I gotta say. Wrist or like some patchwork, fire, fire. Or like a forearm tattoo. Oh my god, those go so hard. Those go so hard. Um, and she had a tattoo on her wrist, and I asked about it, and she was like, "Oh, it's like my dad's last words." to me, and I was like, bro, chill. It was so beautiful. And then she told me that like he was in the hospital, and she texted him, I love you, and that he texted her, I love you first. And okay, so when she told me that the tattoo said I love you first, I was like, what does that mean? Like, is she like the eldest daughter or something? Did he like actually love her first, like in like the most literal of terms, in the most literal of ways, sorry. Um and then she explained the story, and she was like, and then he texted me back, I love you first. And I was like, what did he mean by that? And she was like, I don't know, because he died the next morning, but I got it tattooed. And I was like, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. And then she told me that, like, like, not if my parents are, like, still alive, I should, like, get their handwriting and then, like, get it tattooed on my body when I'm older. And I'm like, I don't think I would want to do that. But, like, it's cute that she, like, told me that, like, to, like, cherish my family, I guess, I suppose. But yeah, I guess I've been thinking about it a lot. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have so much to say. Literally, I remember it was a few weeks ago, and this older woman, she was so cool. I think she had platinum hair and she had tattoos. And I was gassing her up. I was like, I love your tattoos. They're so cool. And then, and then she was like explaining to me them. I think one was like her dog, one was like her husband, her late husband. And like after I checked her out, like blah blah blah, we said bye. I mean, not we said bye, like I told her like have a great day, blah blah blah. And then the woman after her asked me, like the first thing the woman after her asked me was, before I could even say hi, how are you, she asked me, do you have tattoos? And I was like, no, I wish, like they're so cool. And then she said, you shouldn't get them. And I was like, and she was like, they're gonna look bad on you when you're my age, because she was also an older woman. And I was like, I didn't even, I was like, immediately I was like, I don't believe that. And also, I think the woman before you, I think it's so cool how she had things in her life that she loved a lot and that she was passionate about enough to get tattooed on her body forever. And I think that's beautiful. And I also think it's stupid to care so much about looks. Like I said that, like basically verbatim, like give or take a few words. That's basically what I said to her. And I don't think she said anything. But like also it's like, who are you to tell me not to get a tattoo? Are you my mother? Like get out of my face. Like whatever. I was kind to her still, like nothing but like kindness, but still. Like who are you? What are you doing? Um yeah, I don't know. This has been a lot about tattoos, but I also feel like I'd be scared to do a commitment like that. Oh, I sound like I'm afraid of commitment, but I don't know. It would have to be something that I love a lot, and I have thought about them, but I think I'll wait until I'm older. When I went to Denmark, when I went to Denmark alone, and then I was like exploring the capital, I was like, I low key want to get a tattoo. Like that would be so tough. But like, what would I get? And I don't want to just willy nilly be like, oh, like put that on my body forever, because like I don't want to do that. Like I'm gonna be looking at it forever. I don't want to do that. Um, but I do think about it, and I do think I'd be okay with something like that forever on my body, because it's not that wet. Because when I would wear like temporary tattoos, I would be like, I wish they were real so bad. And I would like not wash that part of my body. That makes me sound gross. I swear I'm not. Like it would be like a tiny one on my wrist, and I would like put like saran wrap. What do you call it? I would put something on it so that when I shower I wouldn't touch it. Um I guess I kind of love things to their death. I guess I kind of have a habit of doing that. Um it's like that one quote. I don't know. I think love is a violent act sometimes. It's a quote by Jose. I hate my accent. Jose. I'm not even gonna. Okay, I'm not gonna pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. Olivares. And it says, I killed a plant once because I gave it too much water. Lord, I worry that love is violence. And I think about it sometimes. Um, I don't know. I wonder if I would miss like my bare body if I got tattoos, but I don't know. I don't think anybody's body is like really bare once they grow up, because the scars you accumulate, the injuries, the wounds. I love scars so much. Oh my gosh. I was looking at like um pictures from March 5th, because I got reminded of that day somehow. And I saw that like 2 years ago, I had a really like gnarly wound on my knee, on my left knee, and I was like taking pictures of its healing process, but also I was picking at it. So like it was like completely picked at, and my skin was like a raw chicken shade of pink, and it was still bleeding somehow, and it was so gross. But like I don't know. I feel like the way that I am towards injuries, I wouldn't be of adverse to getting tattoos. I'm so scared I use words wrong. Okay, wait, that's the wrong word. I wouldn't be against getting I know there's a word I'm looking for that's like that. Oops. Okay, well, whatever. I wouldn't be opposed to getting tattoos because literally like when I get injured, like I want to remember it forever. Like though like I look at like other people whose like skin is so smooth and you can't see like any visible injuries, and I'm like, wow, like that's so like pretty. But then like I believe that I believe that a body with stories is that a body is oh English. Sorry, let me think. Is that I believe a body with stories is a body with scars, and that sounds like kind of that sounds violent. Sure, I'll admit it. It sounds violent, but I love it, and I think it's so romantic and so intimate to like know the stories of someone's scars. And oh my gosh. I'm getting war flashbacks. I'm getting war flashbacks. I'm remembering 2023. Oh my god, take me out. But um I just think it's so intimate and it's such a beautiful thing. And I love the movie Secretary so much. I just remembered that movie and it kind of relates to what I'm talking about. But I do think it's so romantic to have or not, it's so romantic, it's so intimate, it's so beautiful, it's so special to know the spots of someone's scars, to know how they got them. Gosh, so beautiful. And I think like and also like okay, let me find where I wrote it cuz when I got that injury, I fell off a bike and I skinned my knee like really bad. Like my I stained my jeans with blood, and I was more upset about the jeans being stained than my knee being skinned, and that's kind of sad, but I didn't find it sad. So, um yeah, and I was limping for like a few days cuz it was so hard to walk on that leg, but it's okay. And I remember like in November I was like looking through pictures from like 2024 when I got that injury, and I was taking pictures of like the healing process and stuff, and then I wrote on top of the picture, I fear if I injured myself somehow I would still pick at the scab so that it would scar, so it would prove that it happened. My pain was once real and now it's immortalized on my body. And that is, first of all, really beautiful, but also other than being beautiful, that's just how I feel, and I don't want to like write off my feelings as like being an adjective. I don't want to write off my feelings as beautiful because that's literally how I feel. That's like the raw honest truth. And I feel like if that's how I feel about like injuries, I'd feel the same way about tattoos. But I saw a TikTok where someone got like I think it was like the deer kill shot tattoo, which that one is so tough. I love it. I don't know if I'd get it. I do love it. I don't know if they would fit me or if it's because it has to have enough meaning to me. I don't want something meaningless on my body, okay? Um I saw someone I like it was like a video of it, and then someone said that they got it and then they kind of regretted it because now they're forever remembering like the hard times of their life. And I guess that's true. I guess like when you kind of immortalize something in that way, that you kind of are forced to remember it forever, and it's not always in a positive light. But it does also remind me of the car seat headrest lyric, good stories. I mean, good stories are bad lives. Wait, or bad lives are good. Oh, what's the lyric? But it's like that. And I don't know, I think a lot of people cower from their pain instead of trying to understand it. And I totally understand where that fear comes from because nobody wants to look at like their hardships and their hurt like in the light and like try to like analyze them and stuff. I don't think I rationalize my feelings. I'm not sure if I do. I don't know if I do, actually. I think I kind of just like dismiss my feelings, or like I feel them so much that it like overwhelms me, and then I just have to like I have to cope in some way. So, I don't know. I try to not suppress how I feel, because I used to do that like years ago, and I would just like bottle up everything, and then like and then I would just like lose it one night, and then like I stopped doing that, and I'm a very vulnerable and like open person, and I doubt that like anything could like harden me, which is very, it's very bold to say, it's very scary. It's almost like a dare. It's almost like I'm daring someone to like come and change me in that way, but I don't know. Yeah, the lyric is good stories are bad lives, and that is true. Yeah. Okay, wait. I had the lyric flipped. I said bad. I don't remember what I said. Good stories are bad lives. I do think that if you go through so much, you have more to tell, and that whether you view that as like a beautiful or a sad thing, that's on you. That's up to you, but like I I think it's more beautiful and sweeter to like have gone through so many hardships and to have made it out alive and with like a few scars than to have not gone through like anything that hard and to just, I don't think anyone lives life on easy mode though, so I don't know. I do think everyone's pain is unique to themselves, unique to them, or something, or something. Um, Also, last week I went to a fair in Virginia, and I don't think I'm afraid of heights, but I'm starting to think I might be. I don't think I'm afraid of heights. I just don't like looking at them. I'm fine if I'm on like a 12-story balcony. I'm fine looking down. It may be a little jarring, but as long as I'm not holding my phone or any valuables, I'm fine with it. But I was um I low-key forget what I was saying. Yeah, and I was on this really high ride. It took you up and then it spins you and it spins you sideways. And I closed my eyes the first time and it was so bad. And the wind was coming at my face. And the second time I went, I kept my eyes open. So I'm so brave. But it's fun to get to know myself and get to know my fears. And like, it's very fun. I love getting to know myself. And it's so funny. After like 19 years of living, I still don't know myself like perfectly, because I didn't want to say I was afraid of heights, but the way that I was acting, it seemed like a scared person, but seemed like how someone who was afraid would act. But it's okay because I got over it, and like I opened my eyes and I did the scary thing, do it scared. And I'm trying to implement that more in my life. So whether I post this or not will be the result of that, if I actually implement it or not. But like, um, it was just weird because I was like, when someone's like, oh, what's your biggest fear? And I don't really know what to say, I think, like, for me, it's being forgotten, and then maybe being boring, which is so superficial and so shallow. But being forgotten is not superficial or shallow, but being boring it's kind of a silly thing to be afraid of, because I don't know. I always feel like I have to entertain those who I'm around, and I don't feel like I can ever relax, and I feel like I always have to be performing or catering to them or making people happy, making people laugh, smile, give everyone what they want, and be palatable for everyone, which I know is impossible. And there's no person who everyone likes, but somehow I don't know. I'm fine with people hating me. I'm fine with people disliking me. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. But it just seemed so like my fears were like are so like unique to me. Not, I don't know if that's the right word, but they fit me. And I didn't want to add something like stupid like being afraid of heights to that, because that's so silly to be afraid of heights. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm afraid of heights, because I did go really high, and I went on other rides that were high, and it's like my ends are really wet, and then the rest of my hair is like kind of dry, but I'm gonna wet it. So I did go on higher rides, and like my stomach dropped, and it was like, oh my gosh. But the second time that I went on the one that lifts you and then they spin you really fast and then they tilt you sideways, I was on the seat that was inside, and so it means I was like closer to the ground, so it was quite like jarring. But like the second time I went around, I didn't feel that scared. And I don't know, I think maybe if you have to maybe trying something multiple times is like gonna make it less jarring. But I also think, I don't know, I don't know what I think. Maybe I'm like a little bit scared of heights, a little bit opposed to them, but that's okay. That's okay. I I don't know. I don't think, because I don't want to admit that because that's so silly. And I used to be afraid of the dark, and like sometimes I still am, but it's not that like consuming because I used to only sleep with the light on. Um and now I don't. I sleep in the dark just fine and I can handle being in dark rooms. Um I also went I but I do think I get spooked easily. Not just in terms of the dark, but like if it's like a loud noise or like something, I will definitely jump. But I don't know. I would remove being scared of the dark on my list, but I don't know. I don't want to say I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to have such a basic fear. So I'm not afraid of heights because I say I'm not afraid of heights. There we go. My back hurts cuz I'm like hunched over. Oh my gosh, this hurts. And I think I'm just gonna try to do it scared. Like I did when I went on the ride. And then when I went on it, I was like, it's not that bad. Like I was like, it was jarring for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so high up, and I can see people down there, and like also I was barefoot. I was barefoot on the ride, which kind of made it worse. The first time around, it was very scary because I was barefoot and like my legs were crossed. It was scary because like I can't even explain that feeling. And then the second time, I was still barefoot because I was wearing how do you like sandals, and I had to take them off. And the second time around, it was like a little less. I wouldn't say it was that scary though. So I don't know. I feel like maybe things require multiple tries, and you have to be willing to like take the risk. And I know it's kind of dumb to be talking about this over like some amusement ride, but to me, that's what it felt like.